يا عباد الله هبوا ونداء الحق لبوا فاعبدوه مخلصين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our cherished viewers, this is Stories of Devotion. In Stories of Devotion, we do learn from the experience of the live devotees and the missionaries of Ahmadiyya Muslim Community. We journey with them through their life of devotion. Today, we have another Sheikh Ibraheem Kadeeku. Sheikh Ibraheem Kadeeku is a missionary who has served for over 20 years, and he's still serving as a missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community. It is his story of devotion that we are going to listen to in this episode. Join me as we learn from his experience. Sheikh Sab, welcome to the program, and say salam to our viewers.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To start your story of devotion, we would like to know how Ahmadiyya came into your family.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Actually, Ahmadiyya came into our family when I was young, of 10 years of age. So I joined the Jamaat Ahmadiyya through following my father and elder brothers, Sheikh Kasim Sabba. But what I remember is that we joined the Jamaat Ahmadiyya when we were very, very in bad conditions Islamically. So before that, before Jamaat Ahmadiyya, we couldn't even know to salute someone with salam according to the Islamic system, as you know.
Saying salam was a problem.
Yes, we could not even complete it. But by the grace of Allah, even our father was not a member of the Jamaat at that time. That was early 1983-84 there. I was of 10 years of age. Our father was a Sunni, and we were having all characteristics of the Sunnis: musician, having a lot of shirk at home, and even my elder brother Sheikh Kasim was one of the leaders of that music group in our family. So as one of our brother was in a driving school at Jinja, for him, he says that he was passing nearby our Ahmadi mosque, which it's in Jinja. He had adhan on Friday, which was in a good voice. He said that he has never heard of it. He said, let me go back and prepare myself to come back for Juma prayer here at this mosque, where I have heard this adhan. As he came for that Juma, that was his first time to get a Friday sermon in a local language.
So you mean before?
Yes.
Joining Ahmadiyya, he has never had
any
sermon
in a local language. That was his first time. And from that day, he enjoyed a lot. From that day, he used to come back to the same mosque. And that one who was delivering that Friday sermon was now the current Amir of Ahmadiyya Muslim Association in Uganda, Sheikh Muhammad Ali Khair. So he was convinced with the way he was preaching them. And from there, he joined the Jamaat. But he could not manage to preach our father to join the Jamaat, because for him was a driver. So what he did, he came at home and requested our father that you give me one of my younger brothers, and he requested Sheikh Qasim actually, that I take him and he learns the music Islamically in Arabic and whatever. As he took him, he brought him to Sheikh Kairi in Jinja. And that time, there was missionaries training. He started just teaching him to become a muallim. Then as Sheikh Qasim joined the Jamaat Ahmadiyya, he came back. He found the family in a very bad condition, faithfully. Shirk, whatever, no prayers at all. We could experience what I remember very well. There was only a single mat for our father. He could offer us only alone. So, as Sheikh Qasim came back, he started preaching our father, and also started teaching us the Islamic system, teaching us Salah, Salam, and these simple du'as. When you are going to eat, when you are going to sleep, how do you thank in Islamic? So, within 1 month, the family changed. We started offering the Jama prayer at home with Sheikh Qasim when he was teaching us. Even our father was impressed within 1 month. So through that way, our father was convinced to join the Jamaat. That even though the Sunnis were Muslims and they are Muslims, but the longer period I've stayed in Sunni, they have never done this in my home.
So he was impressed by this young missionary who came back from Jamia. Now I would like you to tell me how far you went in your secular education, and at what time in point did you change to pursue the missionary life?
I'm lucky that I'm not the first missionary in our family. And as I told you that there are my elder brothers in the system, I was also intending to become a missionary from my childhood. Since I saw Sheikh Qasim,
After seeing your
yes,
brothers.
I was very much interested to become a missionary. And I used to tell my father, to tell my brother that also I want to join the Jamia to become a missionary. So my father told me that you continue with the secular education, then after your secular education, you will join the Jamia. I thought they are delaying me. So immediately after completing my primary living education, I joined the secondary and I learned in senior one only first term. Then I left home and I visited one of my elder brothers who was a driver in Kampala. From there, I told him my suggestion that my brother, I feel I would like to join Jamia. What do you say? He told me that, are you tired of secular? I said, no, I'm not tired, but as if I'm delaying to join the Jamia. So he told me that, okay, if you feel you would like to join Jamia, you can do so. I visited the Ahmadiyya headquarters at Wandegea. At that time, I remember Sheikh Njia was in the office. I told him my view, what I want. Then he told him, okay, I'm going to talk to the Amir Saib. And I remember that time Amir Saib was Maulana Chaudhry Saib, Mahmoud Chaudhry. Currently, I think he's the Amir of Tanzania. Then he talked to Amir Saib, and Amir Saib accepted my request, and they told me to come back when I'm well prepared to join Jamia.
From senior one?
From senior one
to Jamia.
to Jamia.
How did you find Jamia studies?
Jamia studies I did not find any difficulty because I was liking it, I was loving it. It's only that the situation in Jamia, as you know, missionary is a soldier. So the situation you pass through is somehow difficult. But I could tolerate because I was in need of it. So that is how I joined the Jamia. In Jamia, we could fetch water with our hands. There wasn't light as now as we see. We used to use these ordinary candles. So even though there was some difficulties, but we managed to pass through the Jamia.
Okay. Yes. Now we have finished those 3 years in Jamia, and you are now a full-fledged missionary.
Yes.
With what mind did you come out of Jamia, and how did you experience the field?
The minds which I came out with, that I'm going to serve the Jamaat. As I told you that for me, I'm lucky. In the family, I'm the 4th missionary. I'm not the 1st. So I was taking the examples of my elder brothers, Sheikh Kasim, Sheikh Musa, and Sheikh Nuh Mankati. So I was ready to serve in whatever circumstances. I used to see how much they suffered, how much they were challenged. They used even to tell us. So for me, it was not something new to me. And the field, I found it very challenging, very, very challenging. But what I can say is that in the missionary field, when you are not challenged, you cannot do anything. You should accept the challenges,
so that you get what you want.
You get the results. So without challenges, it means either you are just seated there, you are not doing anything. So through challenges, you get the results. For example, you know, I don't believe in narrating challenges or evaluating them. I don't like such a thing, because when you go on valuing your challenges, you can fail to move on. Just pray to Allah that you give me help so that I pass through. For example, where I was sent at first, it was in Iganga district. That was Jinja region at that time. I was still young. I was sent in the Jamaat where there were elders of the Jamaat. You know, when you are young and such elders do ask questions, very challenging. But fortunately, I passed through and I was successful in that area. Yes. We used even to ride bicycles long areas with those members, elders of the Jamaat, of when I was just 23 years, I remember, as I completed my my missionary course. Yes. But members used to accompany me, those elders of the Jamaat, for long distance, like 40 kilometers, so riding bicycles. Definitely.
Was always there for you.
Definitely.
Sheikh Saab, now in the field of devotion,
Yes.
especially as a missionary, there is one field which is somehow challenging, the Tabligh field. This is where you meet people from different backgrounds, different religious backgrounds. Now, which experience can you narrate to us? Which incidents can you narrate to us in the field of Tabligh that you have experienced?
The incidents are many, but we cannot narrate them all.
Sure.
But except the few. For me, in Tabligh particularly, when I'm going out for Tabligh, I take Tabligh as a football player who is going in the playground. I do enjoy it much. Whatever challenge I find, or whatever circumstance, or whatever situation, I've never failed. But the incidents are many. I remember one time we were going to preach in that very district, Iganga. But Iganga was a very wide district. Riding bicycles. Actually, I was carrying someone on my bicycle. And our bicycle, we used to have like 20 bicycles. But one of us knocked a woman on the way. And that woman fell down. It was in the early evening, coming back. That time, we had no money in our pockets. Only one of us, actually it was Sheikh Salim who knocked that lady, had only, it was 200 shillings.
You mean 200?
200 Ugandan shillings. So, others had gone. So we were remaining behind, 3 of us, like 3 bicycles. So, as he knocked that lady, immediately people gathered. And he said, you should compensate her. You gave her treatment. Then we pulled out that 200 shillings. And we said, this is the money now we are having. So you go to the health clinic and you get the treatment. Immediately, I don't know, and one other people were not agreeing with that. But immediately one told them, these people are from God's work. Please, you leave them, they go. They don't have money. Now, what are you going to do? They left us and we go. From there, nothing happened.
So the lady was taken away like that.
Another thing is that through Tabligh, we experience a lot of things. There is somewhere where we went for Tabligh in my region of Ethiopia there. We found that we found him in one family.
This is very recent because...
Yes, very recent. I found, those people are so much interested in shirk. So we preached to them and they joined the Jamaat. One day I visited that family and I found that their child is full of shirk medicines on the hand, in the waist, in the neck and whatever. I told them, this is for what? The husband replied that, this baby was always becoming sick, was also about to die. So I cannot remove these things from him. I told him, yes, I told him, you call your wife. I want you to be witnesses. I told you, we Ahmadis, we believe that God is the protector. You cannot have any protection from anywhere without God's protection. So, new members, new converts. So I told them that believe in me, that nothing will happen. If he falls sick, please immediately bring him to my house. And it's not far away. It's like 10 kilometers from the mosque. Even the lady cried when I was talking about that. I said, and you are not the one going to remove these things from him, but let me do it for you. And I did it. I brought the laser bread and I cut those things and we threw it into the toilet. Nothing happened that day. The following day, nothing happened. After a week, the baby became sick. They brought him to my area. I took that child to the hospital. I treated him, and he was cured. Up from there, up to today, nothing has happened. And those people are happy. They are impressed with the Jamaat.
They were entangled in shirk.
Yes.
With all the restrictions.
Because
But
for me,
now,
I have that experience of shirk. If someone is entangled with the shirk, it's very, very, I can say it's a jihad.
to remove it from him.
Allahu Akbar. You don't know how heavy it is. Because these people do believe in these things. So, Tabligh, for me, it's an enjoyable field.
You enjoy the field.
I do so.
So, Sheikh Saab, you were also narrating an incident sometime back about an incident in Tabligh where you confronted somebody and you have to challenge him with the Holy Quran.
Yes.
How was that?
Actually, that was called Sheikh Kitimbo, Sunni Ulama.
A renowned Sunni alim.
Yes. They created or they made a group of anti-Ahmadi group in eastern Uganda. Wherever we used to go for Tabligh, they used to come back after us and tell people that we are Ahmadis. So our brothers were here and we have come to tell you, to teach you our beliefs, how we do believe. They used to say, Ahmadis, we don't believe in the Holy Prophet. Ahmadis, we have our own Prophet. Ahmadis, we bury people nakedly. Ahmadis, we have tails. Ahmadis, so many things. So there is a certain area, again it's in my region, Budiope. We preached to people and they converted to Jamaat Ahmadiyya. So at the national headquarters of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, they heard of what is taking place in that district. And they sent them particularly to come and fight Ahmadiyya in that area. Good enough, they found me. They came in a good number, more than 40 people. It was on Friday. As they came before Juma. For us, we were only two Mualimins, me and one of our Mualim Galabuzi. They requested us that you allow us to lead you in a Juma prayer. I told them, you are visitors, you don't know the Islamic culture, that a visitor is a visitor. You cannot decide for the owner.
For the owner of the house.
Yes. So you are visitors, you cannot lead us. What they did not pray with us together. They went aside and they offered their Juma prayer aside. When we are in, it was a grass mosque, open like this. So after a Juma prayer, we made a program. The topic was that everyone is going to talk or to teach how you believe. What's your Islam? You teach us the Islam you believe in.
So, Sheikh Saab, you had
Yes.
the Sunni side.
Yes. Yes.
40 in number.
Yes.
And you, Ahmadis, handful of you.
A few of us. Remember
Now
that
you are
even our
combating
members were inferior.
Okay.
Because as if they had attacked us.
Seeing people from Kampala.
Many. So, what we did, we decided that everyone is going to deliver a speech of 30 minutes. And fortunately, as they wrote a paper, number 1 and number 2, we had to pick. The Sunni Ulama picked number 1. I said, Alhamdulillah, it's okay. He taught for only 5 minutes, teaching Islam, how Islam came, about the life of the Holy. Only 5 minutes. 25 minutes he spent while abusing the promised Messiah, والسلام, abusing the Jamaat, and even he had the pictures in cartoon of the promised Messiah. I tolerated. Sincerely speaking, I couldn't control even myself the way he was abusing, but by the grace of Allah, I tolerated. Then after, I prayed to Allah. God gave me the wisdom. I taught and I teach them the Islamic, how Islam came, what was the ambition of the promised idea of Prophet Muhammad, how promised Messiah والسلام, came, and why is it that we should believe in the promised Messiah. I had only taught for 18 minutes. He raised the hand and said, his time is over. I told him, no, you are an educated person. I've just spoke for 18 minutes. And wanted the timekeeper. The timekeeper is there. So you wait. Then after I challenged him, I hold the Holy Quran in my hand. And I said, Sheikh, these are faith matters. These people around us should be witnesses when we are confronting, when we are confessing ourselves to Allah. I hold the Holy Quran and said, what's this? I asked them. They said, that is the Holy Quran. Then I said, I swear this is what I'm holding, Holy Quran. If whatever I'm telling you are lies, I'm requesting that God destroy me and my family. Then I requested him that, Sheikh, you do the same as I've done. Immediately he stood up and left the place. Up to today, he has never come back. The Jamaat is now established. The mosque is now constructed. Members are there. Even those ones who came with him, now they joined the Jamaat. Always, I do enjoy the field of Tabligh. And to be sincere, I feel when I go out for Tabligh, when I'm doing the Jamaat work, that's what I can say. I've never find any duty or any job or any enjoying field than Tabligh.
Than Tabligh.
Yes.
Sheikh Saab, during your 22-year service, yes, have you ever experienced such a problem in which you gave up and Allah came to your rescue?
Yes, many. But as I've told you, these are challenges. And the challenges are full of blessings. We should know that. Challenges are full of blessings. Many of them. But I remember, and I told you I'm not interested in evaluating them. But as you have asked me, let me mention one or two. I remember one time, Sheikh Hassan Tamzalde told me we are going for Tabligh. Please, you accompany us. We were going in Western Uganda. And I remember those are the days when we started the Jamaat of Bukwiri and the surrounding Jamaats. It's called Kiriandongo there and others. We went for Tabligh. I had only 8,000 Ugandan shillings in my pocket.
These 800 shillings cannot buy a bottle.
Even. And my wife was under pregnant. And we were going for a full week. As we went, yes, we remained praying. I don't know how she could survive. So, after a week, we came back. Sheikh Hassan got for me a bunch of matoke and one sack of charcoal on the way coming back. As they delivered me at home, they did not sit. They delivered me and they left. I was much worried. What situation would I find home? But I found, as I entered the house, my wife prepared something to eat for me, and it was a good meal. As you know, Ugandan, we do enjoy matoke and chicken. It was chicken and matoke. I was embarrassed where she has got this.
Out of the 800 that
yes,
for her.
And it has taken a full week. I asked her after, where have you got and how have you been managing the situation. She told me, as you left, I've been getting God's help that all my neighbors are non-Muslims. As they get chicken, they would like, as you know, even the non-Muslims do not want to eat something which has been slaughtered for a non-Muslim in Uganda here. So they were requesting her, her fellow ladies, you slaughter for us. After slaughtering, she divides. You take this. And even provides even food. So she passed through that full week in such a situation. I found her comfortably. So always God is there to help us when we go out for preaching.
Alhamdulillah. As time is not on our side, Sheikh Saab, after entering missionary life, have you ever regretted at any one time that you chose a wrong career?
Actually, no. Why? Because you will never find any job better than a missionary field. You will never. Why? Because always whatever you're doing, you have a protection 100%. 100% protected by God. 100% God is help. So there isn't any job which is better than a missionary. And remember that being a missionary is a sacrifice. That sacrifice is not a beneficiary of that particular missionary, but it's a beneficiary of the family and as an area. Because what I can request is that I request all our members, encourage your children to become missionaries. Why? It's a blessing. For example, for us, we are blessed in our family. Many of our age mates have passed away because of taking alcohol, drugs, and whatever. But we, even, there is one thing I would like to mention. Briefly. Our father, before he died, he called us, all his children, and he asked us that when I ask, am I educated than any one of you? We said no. Can any one of you say that he doesn't know his creator? We said no. He said, you are all witnesses that you know God. You said yes, that you are witness and God is our best witness even if I die. And he died that very year. Why? All others' children, the way they are now, the way those who are still alive, the situation they are, even their families, some of their families have been destroyed. But for us, because of becoming missionaries, even our village is blessed. Alhamdulillah. So I encourage those and to my fellow missionaries.
As your concluding remarks.
Yes, to my fellow missionaries, we should thank God the Almighty for becoming missionaries. But I request you that what we should know and keep in our mind is that missionary, we are there to fulfill our duties. We fight, we struggle to fulfill our duties, but not struggle to fulfill our needs as individuals. So I thank you for inviting me and calling me here.
Thank you, Sheikh Saab, for accepting our invitation, and thank you for the lessons you've given us as you took us through your story of devotion. Our cherished viewers, for the want of time, allow us to draw the curtains. Until Allah allows, we shall meet next time in another episode of Stories of Devotion. Stay blessed. May God bless you all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
يا عباد الله هبوا ونداء الحق لبوا فاعبدوه مخلصين